Sir Stephen Timms.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak very specifically on New Clause 34, Government New Clause 34, and the connected government amendments, which, as we've been reminded, give the ministers power to inspect the bank accounts of anyone claiming a social security benefit. And I think it's been confirmed that that includes child benefit, state pension, as well as universal credit and all the others. Extremely wide powers being given to ministers.
So I've just come across this on my YouTube home feed. Every so often I'll pop into the home feed and see what's new, anything that I'm not already subscribed to. And this is the YouTube channel of Stephen Timms, who, as I understand it, is the Labour MP for East Ham. And this is from the 29th of November. And it's a parliament, one of their parliament debates where they get to stand up and say what they want to say. And it's a proposal. It's to do with data protection and the Digital Information Bill. And it's the proposed new amendments that will allow government to basically look at anyone's bank account if they are claiming any sort of benefit. Now, they've had powers for quite a while to dip into accounts where they think benefit fraud is being committed, although, as we know, many people get away with benefit fraud, so I don't know how that's working. But this is for them to dip in at leisure and at will, with no reason, into the bank accounts of anyone who is claiming a benefit, to see what's going on in their bank accounts. And they don't need to tell you. They don't need to ask you. And that includes the state pension. Why you would need to check somebody's bank account, someone who's claiming the state pension, I don't know. It's not like that's governed by anything else. And later on in this video, which I will post onto my For the Subscribers playlist, and I'll try and link it below when I do this, put this post live as well, that apparently this was talked about in May 2022 as a thing they might bring in. But they're supposed to go through a process, so they'll propose a change or a legislation or something, and it has to go through the system so that people can know about it, they can debate it, they can question it, they can challenge it, they can make sure everything is done properly. And what's now happened is that was kind of mooted and talked about in May 2022, and then nothing happened. And now suddenly, here we are, I presume November 2023, and they're trying to push this through. And it's just another example of how utterly dreadful everything to do with our democracy is these days. This government is just an absolute joke. I don't usually follow politics in any great detail for the simple reason that it's what I know doesn't make a difference. MPs don't care what I think. And I know that that's a very kind of, well, if you don't know, you can't do anything about it. And I do kind of keep on top of stuff, but you've got to get in quite deep to find these things. This isn't like you can't look at the BBC headlines and see this, because different news channels will report different things and they will have different leanings. So you can't trust anything that you read about anymore. So I might add Stephen Timms to my my subscribers lists, I'm quite interested in, what else he has to say on various things, and perhaps more will appear on this story. As I say, I will link this in my subscribers playlist and also below so you can have a look. It's incredibly shady, and it's just worrying. I mean, it's like everything else. It's like talking the post I recently put up about if you're over 50 and disabilities and getting people back into work. And some people say, oh, for goodness sakes, everyone has to pull their weight. But that's easy for people that aren't dealing with those challenges to say. People don't have to worry about it. If you are one of the many disabled people being told you have to work even though you know full well that you can't, or maybe you're over 50 and you've been trying for ages to get another job because you lost your job during COVID, maybe your business went under, who knows, and you're finding that now you are of a certain age that it's harder to find work, even though apparently there are all these jobs out there, given the number of young people who are apparently also out of work. Someone's saying, sort yourself out, go and get a job, it's easy. It's easy for someone to say who's in work. And you get a lot of flippant comments like that, and they're by people who just haven't thought. They don't understand because they're not on that side of the system. I'm not saying I'm on that side of the system. I am not disabled in any way. I am not quite 50, but I don't struggle to find work because I'm not really looking for it. And I don't mean that in a particularly negative way. I'm still finding my way in a work environment. I'm self-employed. I have my own business. It's taken a hell of a downturn this year. I have other little side hustles. I've found myself 2 new part-time jobs this year, and my income has improved. I went from working tax credits and was migrated to universal credit, and I have now been officially absorbed into the universal credit system, and I am navigating that, and I am making videos about that to hopefully help other self-employed people who have been migrated from working tax credits. I hear dreadful things about working tax at the present time, and I've been on it since I think I was officially accepted onto it in September. I'm having a good experience. I know that is not the case for most people. I know that there are lots of frustrations out there, and I don't doubt for 1 minute that this is not always going to be my experience. But I will, when I put out posts like that, it does create a lot of conversation. And I'm going to put this post up, and then there will be more posts that are more of a back to my day-to-day life type thing, my frugal life, all that sort of thing. I don't want to become a political channel. I may have already partly done that by posting up things about the DWP and universal credit and things. But what I'm actually posting about is my day-to-day life. So when I post something about universal credit or being self-employed or, only heating my home to a certain temperature, that is my life. That's not me being political. That's what I've done that day or done that week, and that's what I've experienced. And I know that lots of other people are in similar situations. It's called real life. And that's the great thing about YouTube, is that it's you can use it as a place to find other people in similar situations. And there is some kind of comfort in the safety in numbers. And the more I post, the more I realise how so many people in this country are completely stuffed. It's just dreadful at the moment. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because it's 8:30 on a Saturday night, and that's a very depressing conversation. Like I say, again, I will put all the links for this so you can watch this this Q&A in, it's the question. There were no answers, but you can get an idea of what's going on, and I think it's important to know these things. terrifying world we're living in. Anyway, that's it for now.